Yo, what is happening, everybody? It is Black Dan, and welcome to the world of Street Fighter 3.
Select to make your first pick. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Choose and pick the best one.
Alright. Today, we're here to talk about some exciting stuff. So, we have got mad fighting game stuff coming out in the near future, and potentially even more stuff in a little bit of the far future. And a lot of it is really exciting, to be quite honest with you. Like, we had that fighting game explosion in 2018, and now we're probably gonna have another one in 2022 or so. So I just wanted to make this video to literally hype everybody up for this stuff and let them know what is going on. So the first thing I want to actually talk about is Street Fighter. I know a lot of you guys are Street Fighter fans. We're going to get that off the chopping block right away. So Street Fighter, we know there's a Season 5 now. Season 5 didn't seem like it was actually planned to happen. It kind of just came out of nowhere. So that's something, I guess. And we're gonna go probably into Street Fighter 6. I'm guessing 2021. Capcom, when they showed us their Street Fighter 5 schedule, they also showed us this nice chart to list out their release schedule for the Street Fighter 5 DLC. And as far as we know, the last character is slated for fall 2021. Whoever that may be, hope it's someone cool. But the last character is slated for fall 2021. And Capcom Cup is usually in December. So there's a nice little slot in there for an announcement. Because there's always a Capcom Cup announcement. I don't think they've ever had a Capcom Cup where they announce nothing. Ever. So there's definitely going to be some kind of announcement. And the most logical thing is Street Fighter 6. Because there's no way they are continuing Street Fighter 5. At all. We also have leaks that we've heard. Yeah, we also got some leaks coming out for Street Fighter 6 as well. A pretty well-known leaker actually leaked this. I don't remember his name off the top of my head. The leaker actually leaked that the reason we're getting Street Fighter Season 5 is not actually because of the pandemic, but because the development of Street Fighter 6 has gone into some trouble. And he further stated that this was the reason why Ono actually got demoted. If you don't know who Ono is, he is was the director of most Capcom fighting games that have come out for like the last 10 years. He's the man who brought back Street Fighter 4, had to probably Cross Tekken, Marvel Infinite, all of the stuff. He was actually demoted off the project because the in-house Capcom people looked at it, as well as the testers supposedly, and all of them were not happy with Street Fighter 6 supposedly. There really isn't much more than that in the leaks. I think it was just I think he went a little bit into like what they didn't like. I guess it was supposed to be a team mechanic, which kind of makes sense because they've been pushing that lately with the Street Fighter 5 E-League, the team up thing, and obviously the whole mode that they put in the game for a team. So that does kind of make sense. Supposedly there's a new director on Street Fighter 6. Which I think is exciting because while I love Ono, he did revive fighting games in 2009 for the most part. And honestly, I wouldn't be making this video if he didn't do that. But I do have to say that a lot of the games that he has directed have had a tendency of being not really up to standard. Cross Tekken, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, Street Fighter V when it first came out. There's been a lot of things, and all of those they fall on Ono. So I guess I do see why they demoted him. No harm to the guy. I wish him the best of luck, but I am excited to see if we can reach a new direction with a new director at the head of everything. Hopefully we go to a really good place. Capcom can get their fighting game level up to their every other game level, like Resident Evil, Devil May Cry, Monster Hunter. Bring the fighting games to their level. We need it. Since we're talking about Capcom still, I want to go on to Marvel vs. Capcom, actually. Marvel vs. Capcom has had a lot of interesting things going on this year, for sure. First thing that comes to mind is F-Champ's leak for MVC4. On one of his streams, he said it's kind of confirmed that MVC4 was being made, as well as Street Fighter 6, which also lines up with some other leaks for Street Fighter 6. He said it was being made, and that it's not necessarily Marvel vs. Capcom 4 yet. They have to get the okay from Marvel, and if it isn't okay for them to make the Marvel vs. Capcom 4, then they'll turn it into a Capcom versus game instead, which either one is dope as hell. Capcom vs. Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom, give me whichever one you got. I want it. So that was really all he said. Unfortunately, he said this information was kind of outdated because it's from probably about 2018. And then to piece that information with some other stuff, we obviously were going to have Marvel vs. Capcom 2 at EVO, which I really think is a huge deal, because that's the first time EVO's ever done anything like that. It was the anniversary for MVC2, and I think it would have been really exciting and a really good time to put the Marvel vs. Capcom name out there again. All of their eyes would have been on it. They would have known that Capcom is super down with MVC2, and that would have probably made a lot of people happy. The other thing that we have is the 1UP arcade machines, which, oh my god, I want to buy one of those. They look so good. The 1UP arcade machine that has Marvel vs. Capcom games, pretty much the entire series on one arcade cabinet, up to Marvel vs. Capcom 1, which is super dope because I forget which game, I think it's X-Men vs. Street Fighter, hasn't even been re-released before or something like that, so, which is crazy. Because obviously they don't just make that out of nowhere, they have to get Marvel and Capcom's permissions to actually do that. So that's a good sign. That means they are both willing to work with each other still. And getting some more Marvel vs. Capcom content out there probably means that they're gonna do something with it. And notice that the arcade cabinet, the only classic game they are missing on there is Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Which goes into my theory fighter, which is that Marvel vs. Capcom 2 at EVO was gonna have an announcement for another re-release of Marvel vs. Capcom 2. If you do not know, MVC2 has been re-released for the PS3, Xbox 360 back in 2009, but they had those, that game was taken down from all the PS stores, so you can only buy physical copies, which are like $200, and they have like the stupid little PS3 codes that you go and type in on your PS3 and then it downloads the game for you. It's crazy. No one's gonna pay $200 for that game. They need to re-release that game. That is probably the most beloved Marvel vs. Capcom game there is. It might be one of the most beloved fighting games there is in general. It's crazy to me to think that they haven't re-released that again, for just so people can buy it. Like, holy crap, we will throw money at you, give us the thing. So I do think they are going to re-release Marvel 2 before any of this MVC4 business does start off. I do think there is an MVC4. Just have a gut feeling, and there's just been a lot of stuff with MVC activity this year. Why does this light keep doing this? We're going to replace that damn light bulb. But anyway, on to the next thing. Arc System Works. Arc System Works, this one's going to be pretty quick. I think that it's fairly obvious that there is going to be another Arc System Works that uses an anime, a popular anime franchise's IP. Dragon Ball FighterZ is, I think, Arc System Works' best-selling game, probably of all time. I cannot imagine them not doing it again. My hope, personally, is One Piece. One Piece has the most unique characters. These characters will have the best movesets ever. I'm telling you, let it be One Piece. I also do think it is kind of probable that it will be One Piece next, if they do it. Because if you didn't know, Arc System Works has worked on Dragon Ball and One Piece before for the 3DS games, Extreme Butoden and the One Piece game. I don't even know what the hell it's called. I've never played them. But a lot of animations from fighters do actually come from Extreme Butoden on the 3DS, which is also made by Arc Systems, and they do have a One Piece game as well. So I do think One Piece has a good chance of being the next one, but literally anyone, you can give me like any popular anime franchise, I'll probably be really happy. Like, give me Naruto, give me JoJo, Hunter x Hunter, Yu Yu Hakusho, whatever you want to throw out there, man. I'll take it, because I know that Arc System is going to do a fantastic job on that game. And best part, it'll have freaking rollback. Whoa, rollback. It's unbelievable, because Guilty Gear Strive has rollback, so that's really fun. Speaking of Guilty Gear Strive is coming out next year, probably at the beginning of the year. I think it's Q1 2021 now is the release date. That is gonna be amazing. That game is looking so good. The only thing I'm worried about is the wall bounce stuff, but everything else is looking really good. Like, it's exciting. I do want to see how their rollback is, though I have heard they have people who have more experience with rollback on their team that are helping them with that, so it shouldn't be a Street Fighter V situation where we get very poorly implemented rollback netcode and want to pull our hair out. So yeah, that'll be exciting, because once they got the rollback, it's going to be in every Arc System Works game, baby. I cannot wait for that. Next Arc System Works game I actually want to talk about is BlazBlue. BlazBlue, as of recent times, has become one of my favorite fighting game franchises. Because I just, when the pandemic started, I started grinding out Central Fiction, and that game is so fun. I love that game. It's so good. BlazBlue has been you know, they've been doing cross tag, but I really don't think they're gonna do more cross tag, because they kind of, the last update kind of seemed like their final hurrah. Like, here's like the stuff we got. You get your one Ruby character, Topsky, Blitztank, all this crap, Susanoo. Here you go. Don't ever talk to me again. It kind of seemed like that to me. So I do think they're done, which really begs a question: what is Team Blue working on? Because Team Red is on Guilty Gear, and they do usually do 2 releases in 1 year for Team Blue and Team Red. I believe Dragon Ball FighterZ and Cross Tag, they came out the same year. I want to say Revelator and Central Fiction came out in the same year as well. So they do kind of like to pair up the Team Blue and Team Red releases. So I'd be interested to see if Team Blue's actually working on a BlazBlue game. I do kind of hope they are, because I'm not gonna lie, I really want BlazBlue with rollback netcode, like, really bad. Not to mention, if Team Blue were to finally switch to the Team Red 3D model 2.5D graphic style, BlazBlue will look so good. So good. It'll look amazing. Those astral heats are gonna look so bomb. To be honest, like, the only bad thing about BlazBlue is it's just showing a little bit of wear and tear with art direction, because it's just a little bit old now, to be honest. I mean, Arc Systems blew themselves out of the water by showing Guilty Gear Xrd. And like, after they showed that, it's just like any 2D sprite-based game should probably look like this instead of a 2D sprite, because it just looks so much cooler. And like, not just to like us, but like even like the outside people who don't really know much about fighting games and stuff, it just looks way cooler. Yeah, so I really do hope BlazBlue gets a Team Red treatment. Next thing I want to actually go into are the games that we kind of know about already. I did already talk about Guilty Gear Strive, but KOF 15 is the first one I want to go with. KOF 15 is actually kind of exciting to me because I really like KOF 14. I thought it was extremely enjoyable. It was very fun to play. But oh my god, dude. The net play on that game is so bad. I can't... Like, I just can't play the game. Like, even when I play with friends who are in close proximity to me, there's sometimes lag, like, on an Ethernet port. Like, I don't know how it happens, but it happens. But, not to mention, you can't find any online matches. It's basically a Discord fighter. If even that, it might be less than a Discord fighter, which is literally just absolute nothingness. Pretty bad. Graphical updates would be really nice, because if there's anything weak about KOF 14, besides online, it is the art style. It is not the greatest in the world. Could be a whole lot better. But they did show a Sam show, and we know Samurai Showdown has an amazing art style. I love looking at that game. It is so pretty. The only thing Sam Show doesn't have is the online. But SNK recently, if you don't know, have been going back to their older games like Garou and giving them rollback netcode, which is extremely exciting because best case scenario, they have rollback netcode on lock and they're gonna just, use it for KOF 15. I think that's what everybody's kind of hoping for, and then an art style update that looks a lot better. maybe something like Sam Show or even beyond that would be great. And that game will be like super good, to be honest with you. It'll be super good as long as the gameplay is tight and stuff. Next one is Injustice 3 ? So this one's not necessarily confirmed, but it's basically confirmed because if you don't know, NetherRealm has this thing where they do a 2-year schedule. So they bring out Mortal Kombat 9, wait 2 years, Injustice 1, wait 2 years, Mortal Kombat 10, wait 2 years, Injustice 2, and so on. And right now we're on Mortal Kombat 11, so we should be getting Injustice 3 sometime around next year or so. They could break the pattern. That's always an option, but they haven't done it yet, so probably not. They could try to make a different game. That's one thing. They could make DC versus MK2, or MK versus DC 2. I think that's something everybody would be really excited for, despite how bad the first game is. But I think NetherRealm is much more versed in their combat, right, as more than they were before, back when they made that game. They also have like rollback netcode and stuff, and most of their games have been coming out pretty well. If anything, I just want to ask for better animation. I don't need any more atoms that go, I get big and small, and that is that's how I animate. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Injustice 3 can just kind of come out and it'll probably be pretty good. Like, NetherRealm has a pretty good track record so far, so I think they'll probably do a good job on that. And the last one I think is the most interesting one and probably has the most potential, is the League of Legends fighting game. So we heard rumblings about this, I think like 2 years ago or something. And obviously we've been thinking about this even before that, because we know the League of Legends guys picked up the Rising Thunder guys and kind of bought them out and made them part of their own company. So obviously they were interested in making a fighting game. If you haven't played Rising Thunder, it is a really cool game. It makes me very excited for the League game if it plays anything like that game, because that game was so entertaining. I love that game so much. It had a lot of unique concepts and ideas going on, like changing your character's moves, that was cool. So they got that going for them. They have the Cannon Brothers on it, so you already know the rollback netcode is going to be pristine. Then League characters. I'm not really a big League fan, but I know a lot of people like these League characters a lot. So that'll be one thing to look forward to. I'm sure I'll find someone that I can enjoy. And now arguably the most exciting thing is, I think, the esports aspect of this. This game could really change the esports layout of fighting games quite a bit. Like, so much could happen because League is in a totally different league, no pun intended, from fighting games in their terms of their esports. Like, they're a whole different beast. And if we could get even like a speck of that, I'd be really interested in like seeing where that could go, or what they're going to do for their esports with us. I hope our grassroots kind of stuff doesn't get phased out, because that'll make everything a lot less interesting. But I am really interested, and honestly, I'm quite interested to see what they do for online play, because they could just make like a basic like ranked, honestly, and like casual and lobby. I don't know, but I like to think that they're probably gonna try to be a little bit innovative with their online systems. Just a gut feeling I have. I don't know. So I don't know, something interesting could happen there. I think that game is just the one with the most potential out of all of the ones I've listed so far. And not to mention, the League crowd is literally the biggest gamer crowd to have ever existed. So having a few of them jump on board into our community, that's not gonna hurt. Like, come on through, guys. Like, we need more people. We're trying to get people in the fighting games. Let's keep on coming. So, yeah, I think that's about everything. That was like, what, 9 games potentially? And like, all of that could be 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024. Some of those things. But that's like 5 years for and a lot of games that I think a lot of people really want. And I think a lot of those are very plausible, to be honest with you. I don't think I said anything that was really too harebrained or like just crazy out there. Like, if we wanted to talk about out there, Killer Instinct 2. That's the game I really want. But I don't think it's gonna happen. We can only hope. But anyway, I'll see you all later. This was actually kind of a fun video. I think, let me know if you want me to do more of this. Just kind of, I sit down and talk to you guys. And let me know what content you want. Follow me on social media. Subscribe to YouTube. And follow me on Twitch. I'm gonna be doing Twitch channel stuff. I'm trying to get a whole Twitch and YouTube situation going. I really kind of want to do this. I've been motivated to try and do it big. So any support you guys can give me is well appreciated. This is Black Dan, and I'm out, dudes.